Going on, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube channel. To start out my YouTube channel, I wanted to share with you guys my entire life story. So, I'm going to divide this up into about 4 or 5 different videos. In this first video, I'm going to talk about my younger years leading up to about the 5th grade. Let's start from the beginning. My name is William Jonathan Lee. My first name, William, comes from my grandfather on my mother's side of the family. Now, unfortunately, both of my grandparents on my mother's side, they both passed away before I was born, so I was not able to meet either one of them. However, I do feel honored to carry my grandfather's name. Now, the name Jonathan comes from the Bible. I don't know if you guys remember David and Jonathan, who were the best of friends in the Old Testament. Jonathan was King Saul's eldest son, so that's where the name Jonathan comes from. I was born September 30th in 1989. I am a Libra, okay? My parents have been married for, I believe, over 40 years, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they've been married for a little over 40 years. Now, my mother and I are extremely close. I'm what you call a mama's boy. I have been attached to their hip ever since I was born. Always have been, always will be a mama's boy. For instance, when I was younger, anytime that I had a bad dream, I'd actually go into my parents' room and lay on the floor on her side of the bed to make the bad dreams go away. And also, whenever she would actually wake me up in the morning to get ready for school, we would spend that time together in their room. Now, my father had gone to work around 4 or 5 in the morning, so it was just me and my mother in a room getting ready for work and me getting ready for school. We spend that time watching I Love Lucy and the news, and we spend that time bonding together. So I grew up in a non denominational church, meaning that we did not subscribe to any particular denomination, whether that be Baptist, Methodist, Holiness, whatever it may be. We did not subscribe to any particular denomination. We just simply believed that Jesus was sent to the earth to die on the cross and to be raised on the third day. Therefore, we are saved. So that's what I grew up in. I grew up in a non denominational church. In church is where I garnered my love for music. I absolutely love music, even to this day. I even sing a little bit, although I am not going to be singing on this particular channel, but I do sing. I've been singing since about elementary school. So I absolutely love music. I love all genres of music. Anything that has beautiful lyrics to it, a nice melody to it, I'm all for it. However, when I was younger, my parents would only allow us to listen to gospel music. So the only voice that I was really hearing at a younger age was a woman by the name of Helen Baylor. I don't know if you guys know her, but you can YouTube her, you can Google her. She wasn't that well known, I would say. However, she used to perform at our church from time to time. So her cassette was pretty much the only one that was playing in our house. So my favorite time of church was praise and worship. Now, I love praise and worship so much. We had a great praise team. They sounded amazing. Now, I was in children's church as a young kid. So what they would do is they would bring us into the sanctuary out of our classroom for praise and worship. And then after praise and worship was done, we would go back to our classroom while the sermon was going on. I used to beg my mother to allow me to stay in the sanctuary during church because I just thought that they were singing all day. That's how much I loved praise and worship. So that just simply tells you that God has always been in my life. God will always be in my life. He's never left me. He's never let me down. He's never abandoned me. Anything like that. God has always been a present help for me. Now, talking about school. So first and second grade was regular, nothing out of the ordinary. Now, I will say when I got into the 3rd grade is when the teasing started. Now, the teasing was pretty light at the beginning. I just used to be called a girl in school, and I was basically called a girl by 2 people that I thought were my friends. Actually, it was a boy and a girl. They used to call me a girl. I don't know if they called me a sissy. They definitely didn't call me a faggot just yet, but they definitely were calling me a girl. And as a man, that's pretty much the worst thing that you can call a man because yeah, that's how it is. But anyway, so I was called a girl because I had feminine tendencies. I had feminine ways about myself. I used to wrap my jacket around my waist because I thought it was cute. I used to actually zip up my zipper in the front to make it actually look like a skirt. So yeah, that's just how I was, you know what I'm saying? And I really can't put my finger on where I got it from or why I did it, but that's just what I was drawn to. Anyways, so the first time that I actually remember finding a man attractive. And I don't know if you can really call this an attraction in this at the age of 6 or 7, but I remember watching the movie Cry Baby. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but it stars Johnny Depp, and I just thought Johnny Depp was the most beautiful man in the world. He was just absolutely gorgeous. I just thought that he was a beautiful man. And that's the first time that I actually remember really kind of finding a man to be attractive. So in the fourth grade, I actually had a girlfriend. It was one of the girls who actually used to pick on me, but she asked to be my girlfriend, and I told her, sure, okay. And what actually broke us up was the funny story. We were actually talking on the phone, and she would ask me these questions. I don't know where she would get these questions from, but they were pretty sexually charged. But I didn't understand that at that time because I was too young to know any better. But my mother actually was listening to us, and all of a sudden, while in the middle of one of her questions, my mama said, Jonathan, get out that phone. So that was the end of our relationship. Now, in the fifth grade, a moment that really sticks out is I was in math class. It was math/science class. And my teacher had left out of the class to probably get something. I'm not sure why she left the class, but one of my classmates was talking and I kind of butted in. And then that classmate said, GMYOB, girl, mind your own business. And I broke down. I immediately started crying and I just could not take it. It just crushed me. And she did it in front of everyone. And it was the most embarrassing thing to be called a girl in front of everybody. And it just crushed me. And she tried to make it better. She tried to apologize. She tried to get me to stop crying before the teacher got back in the room. So that's how life was for me in elementary school. Now, in my next video, I'm going to get into things getting a little bit worse in middle school. For those of you who've ever been in middle school, you know that middle school is the worst time of your life. That's when the bullying began. It went from teasing to bullying. And that's the time that I actually contemplated suicide. But we'll get into that at that time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Joe Nathan, and I'll see you guys next time.